Welcome along to the EXFL Tier 2 Season 5 Hungarian Grand Prix. I am F1 Union, your commentator for tonight, and we are here with 18 drivers at the Hungaro Ring for round 13 of 22, and that's a brilliant way to start it off with Swaggy Kiki retiring at a corner that's, I'm sure, going to catch a lot of people out today. Real unfortunate stuff for Swaggy Kiki, but that has opened the qualifying session with drama, and they're going to have to, I think, avoid him. I think, luckily, he is ghosting when drivers go through him, but yeah, there we go. There's a confirmation. So we know who's probably going to start 18th. Unfortunately, it is the Haas driver of Swaggy Kiki, losing it at turn 5. Turn 4, sorry. Yeah, this corner that Warren's now going through. Turn 4, that's surely going to catch a lot of people out here. Penalties are going to be a problem, and also now turn 5 is also going to catch quite a few people. If you go on that inside white curb, you are bound to spin. Doesn't matter what traction you're on, it will be a problem. Let's just making sure all good in the chat. Right, overcast conditions then for qualifying. I'm not sure about the race. I'm sure more intel will be sent too soon. But Frankie now is the first driver to set a lap time with a 1 minute 18.190. That's the benchmark they all got to beat. And Smithy is a further 5 seconds down. Looks like he messed up on his lap. He'll go again. So behind him, the Mercedes, I'm guessing, of Carbro it is, heading down into turn 1. There we go. We don't need that. We know everyone's on the soft tyre. Well, unless someone decides to put the inters on. Right, Carbro finishing sector 1 now up to the end of turn 4. It's a 27.8. That's a benchmark we can look at. But he goes wide and off the track, but he slowed down enough, and it looks like the time will stay valid. But he's gone very wide there and rides the curb along to the end and the middle of the track now through the sweeping chicane now. So difficult to get right. It's These, the championship leader, puts in a 17.5, 6 tenths exactly clear of Frankie as Carbro is losing the rear all over the shop and has spun. And Sin Icon now splits them, only 2 and a bit tenths behind Thieves in P2, looking after what's been a somewhat reasonable debut first couple of races after getting that P5 last time out. I'm sure he'll want to go to the top, and that is a really good lap time because he's beaten Cruder Vase, one of the Red Bulls, who's dipped his Red Bull into the 17s as well. So won't come around the final corner. I think it's Smithy. Yeah, it's Smithy again. 18.2, there we go, he found the 5 seconds. And yeah, 7 tenths covers the top 5. Next up, I think, is the other Red Bull of Josh Crabtree as he's into the pit lane. About Thieves' teammate, Bram. He's just on an out lap, about to start his lap. Carbro's heading in. What about Tigo on an invalid lap? What about Warren? He's found some time, so he's heading through the final couple corners now. Just has to ace this final one. Oh, he's coming in. What about, is Thieves coming in? Yep. And then the Aston Martin behind him, which is Chaz F1, about to start his lap. So here we go, a lap with Chaz F1 down the straight now, approaching 190 mile an hour before turn 1, up to gear 8, heavy braking before the 100-meter board and staying clear of the curb on the outside, taking a bit of curve on the inside. DRS comes at you really quickly, and then you just want to keep to the inside line, heading down into turn 2. Not many corners for this first sector, but it's a very hard one to get right. And if you're really trying to push for thousands, you really got to take some risks. Using all the curb, being a bit conservative, making sure this banker is sustainable enough. 27.3, heading down into turn 4. It's a blind spot, but he's managed to keep all 4 wheels within the track. Now heading round turn 5, keeping clear of the white line and the curb and riding the outside. Now heading through one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult corner on the track. And he's nailed it as he's riding along the curb to finish sector 2 now. Through the swerving S, and then finally through the final 2 corners before the end of sector 2. Another blind spot which you want to take flat out with 1 gear shift down as he's got a spinning Alfa Romeo in front of him. But that is a brilliant second sector for Chaz F1 as Brown now goes up to 8 thousandths within his teammate. Now round the final few tricky couple corners for sector 3. Round turn 14, which seems like it's going to take forever, but you finally end it, and now 1 more corner to go for Chaz F1. Just taking the pace, making sure the traction's good, and now it's all gone to misery. And that's what can happen when you're on such a good lap. The final corner can catch you just like that. Prime example, and Chaz will unfortunately have to go again. It's the worst possible time to make a mistake when you've passed the pit lane. You're on a good lap and it all goes to shreds. Really unfortunate for Chaz F1, but he will go again, and let's hope he can recreate that lap, because it was looking like such a good lap for Chaz F1, but he will go again. So really only 6 proper times on the board. 10 drivers have put a time on the board, and we're waiting for 7 others, as Swaggy Kiki is the only retirement. I'm guessing that spun Alfa Romeo was Tigo. Could have been Erosia, but I don't think it was. But speaking of Erosia, home Grand Prix last time out wasn't the best result for him. But now he comes to Hungary hoping that he can... Oh, he's done what Chaz did, and he's crashed! He's lost his whole front wing. He's still in the session, but he has crashed. And hopefully he hasn't beached it. No, he hasn't. He continued, but we're catching these. And yeah, that last corner, I thought it would be turn 4 that catches drivers out. Looks like it's the last one. Warren's on a slow lap. Carbro has got some traffic in front of him. I think that might be... Is that Sin Icon? No, it's Frankie. So he's having to overtake Frankie. Is he on a lap? Is Frankie going to move? Or is he giving slipstream? I have no idea. Arsenal puts his car P7. Yeah, Frankie, I think, was starting a lap, but I have no clue. Right. What about Josh Crabtree then? Just about to head into the end of Sector 1. It's a wide line. Look how many cars are in Sector 1 compared to the rest of the track. As I think that's one of the Alpha Tauris moving out the way for his teammate. But Josh, 27.3, I think that's the fastest sector we've seen, but that's an invalidated lap as he has the Alpine in front of him who gets in the way. So look at that, both Ferraris separated by 8 thousandths. Then comes Sin Icon, then Crew de Vase, then Frankie. So Alpine looking strong. Hungary, oh, that's not strong from Frankie there to move out the way. Destroys the 50 brake marker board. Look how much traffic he's having to encounter, and we have no idea if the rain's coming or it's just going to stay like this or it's going to get sunnier or anything, but it is carnage, and I wouldn't be surprised if an incident happens that we might have to investigate later on in the session, as that's a big crash from one of the Mercedes. Frosty Life, yep, I heard it in the mic audio, but yeah, he's lost his whole front wing, and it's like a full-on race. Look at the third sector. There's about 10 cars with one going off. I think that's still Frankie, avoiding them all. Yep. As they're all getting ready to start their lap, apart from Frankie, who heads into the pit lane, and someone else in front of him. I think that's the Alpha Tauri of Smithy. No, Nathan, as Thies extends his advantage by a whopping 7/10. Wow. So let's see what Bram can do. He's on his outlap. He's got a McLaren in front of him. The only McLaren in front of him of Warren. Nathan up in P7 with his teammate in P6. Good effort from Alpha Tauri so far. Seems like the teams really are getting their act together, because we have Ferrari, we have Williams, we have Alpine. Yeah, we have Alpine all up there. And Alpha Tauri. So that's both Williams, both Alpha Tauris, both Alpines, and both Ferraris in the top 8. The only other constructor is Crew de Vase. So very well done from those 4. Then comes Warren and Carbro. Oh dear, Carbro's done exactly what his teammate did. And he'll have to hopefully make sure to get out the way of one of the Ferraris he's coming with. Is it Bram or it's Thies? So I think Thies is just heading in. Just going to check the chats now, think it's all well. Yeah, I know, Chaz is on an absolute flyer. Yeah, if you can hear this, Chaz, your lap was very good. It looked very solid for a top 3, as I'm just realising, yeah, Bratty Terror, 5 thousandths behind Bram, who someone's just gone straight on. Don't know if that was a glitch. Come on. Oh, there we go. It was, yeah, it was Tigo. I just saw in the background there, someone went straight on. But yeah, Tigo's lost his front wing. Still hasn't really put in an actual time, but he's P13 at the moment. Ahead of Frosty Life, who also hasn't put in an actual time. So we're expecting him near the front. Let's see if he can get that done. And Erosia, Tigo's teammate as well. And we're waiting on Josh Crabtree to also set a lap. The favourite heading into this, as he's the quickest in time trial out of anyone. Down in P17 at the moment, and same with Seb, who hasn't left the pit lane. So Josh will put a lap on the board in the next minute or so, just warming up the tyres. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in this qualifying session. Right then, let's see if we can complete the lap. This time with Josh Crabtree, so heading across the start-finish straight, approaching once again up to 190 mile an hour, flick to gear 8, and then heavy braking at the 100 metre board, keeping to the left and then knowing when to turn right. DRS line comes up you very quickly as Bram, sorry to interrupt myself, but Bram has improved to a 17.1, 3/10 behind his teammate. Looking back to Josh Crabtree, looks like he did turn 2 alright and flat out through turn 3, using the curve, making sure not to spin or invalidate, which he has done neither of. Ending it sector 2 now, sector 1 now, it's a 27.2 and he keeps just within the white lines, going wide, using all the track, making sure he gets that car as close to the white line as possible and not exceeding it. Now through the hard and tricky chicane, he's mastered that and he's riding the curve along lovely. So now he's got to coordinate his way through the middle of the track, through the little chicane. Lost a little bit of time there, he went too wide, but now coming through the long left and then the right where you shift down once but still trying to take it flat. He's lifting off. He's going to try and get a conservative lap on the board while also trying to push as much as he can. Now heading through the corner, he's missed the apex there, but he's still carrying momentum and he's carrying speed, and it's still looking like a good lap for Josh Crabtree. He's got 2 cars in front of him that might prove a bit of a struggle with traffic, but it looks like they've got out of the way and they're ahead enough. But round the final corner, can he plant it right with the traction? Yes, he can. Across the line for Josh Crabtree. It's a 1 minute 16.3. He takes provisional pole ahead of these by nearly a half a second. There was a bit of a scruffy lap at times, but that is a brilliant time still from Josh Crabtree. Favourite heading into qualifying, and he has not disappointed. Ferrari have their work cut out for them. Yeah, I just noticed, yeah, his helmet's actually really cool. Look at that. Don't even know what which one that is, probably from the podium pass. Yeah, it looks really good. With the white, it reminds me a bit of Verstappen, but with the purple, it's different to the orange. Speaking of orange, the orange McLaren bouncing over the curve right in front of him. Right, Crudeve is in the pit lane. His teammate is a full-on 1.3, well, 6-ish seconds. Yeah, 1.6 seconds quicker than Crudeve's, but let's see what he can do as he exits the pit lane now. We're in the final couple minutes. Smithy's still up in P5. Look how close that is, from about P4 down to P8. It's going to be very close, and this grid is one of the best we've ever had, and I'm sure it will be a very interesting and exciting Grand Prix. I have no idea what the weather is still, so you'll all be surprised if you're watching along live. Carbro, I think, just finished a lap, 18.499, 35 thousandths off Nathan, but he's into the top 10. I don't know if he got a little helping of slipstream from Warren. But they're all coming out the pits now. 2.5 minutes to go, then the top 3 still in the pit lane. And at the moment it's a Haas back row, a 9th row of the grid for Haas, unless Seb can get his Haas higher up the grid, which I'm sure he can. Now around the final corner, that's one of the Alpines who has spun. Is it Bratty Terra? It is Bratty Terra, and that could be qualifying done for him, because he hasn't got the momentum to start another lap. And if he has enough fuel in the tank, then maybe he can start one more lap, but it's going to be close, and he's going to have to get out of the way now of, I think, the Williams. Oh, is that Smithy? No. Who just spun? Someone spun, but anyway, top 3 still in the pit lane. There's Bram. These and Josh still in their garage. Right, here we go then. Who is on a lap? Is this Nathan coming around the final corner now? Across the line? I'm not sure. It's stuck on 18.4, which is his time, but Arsenal's been knocked out the top 10. Let's see if he... Oh, I think that's it for Arsenal then. If he's still in the pits, 1 minute 30. Oh, no, there we go. And he's come out just ahead of Thies, so they're going to have a bit of a hurry up there. They've got about a 10-second window. There's Thies. Where's Josh? Okay, that's it for Josh then. Is he going to do a Singapore 2013 Seb? Do the 1 lap. And that's enough. Thies is going to be the last driver to cross the line then. It's all going to come down to this. Red Bull versus Ferrari. It's what we've been hoping and thinking was going to happen. And now we're going to see it happen. Thies has about, like I said, a 10-second window. But before we get to him, we're going to see what the rest can do. So Bram, on a nearly 3-minute lap time, is, I'm guessing, starting another one. Right, Bratty's in, that's it for him. And Frankie, that's it for Alpine. 4th and 7th will be the best for them. And Warren, P12 for him. But everyone else is on an outlap. As Crudeve has put his Red Bull into the top 4. And Rosie has retired. That's it for him. P6 seed. Crudaves can only best P4, but he does get 200s ahead of Bratty Terror, who is finished in this qualifying session. So good job from Crudaves. Let's see who is on their laps. As Smithy's got some traffic to encounter. As Sin Icon has not improved that much. Tigo's now out. Both Alfa Romeo's out. Smithy, I think, has lost too much time, but we'll still see if he can improve. He's sending it into the final corner. He's even on the white line, but he's got the traction now, and he's going to come across the line. Can he improve? It's a 17.663. He finds the smallest margin. Seb's up to P7. It's ever so close. Crudaves is out because that's it. Bram is out. That's enough for him. And Thies crosses the line. And wait. No, Thies has just started his lap. Apologies, because, yeah, qualifying's just ended. So here we go then. That's it for Thies. Sin Icon now goes P4. Brilliant effort from him. What about Frankie's down in 9th, obviously, because he's ended qualifying. Who's got Chaz F1? He completes the lap and he goes P4 with a 17.3. He's up there. But all eyes are on Thies now. Can he improve? Can he find any time? No, he's down on time. He needs to find. Oh, he's made a mistake. And that means Josh Crabtree is on pole position. Thies has cracked under the pressure. He's gone into Sector 1 with not the best time. And that's it. Sector 2, he's made a mistake. And he'll only line up P2. Sin Icon, P5 then, in the end. Smithy, Nathan, they're not improving, so I think it's just Arsenal. No, he's invalid. What about Frosty Life then? Across the line, is he the last chance? It's P3 for Frosty Life. He goes up there right at the end. Nearly a 10th, 99 thousandths ahead of Bram. He splits the Ferraris, and that is 3 different constructors in the top 3. And Chaz F1 and Sin Icon on the 3rd row to show they're still in the battle. What a qualifying, what a race we have in store. But what a blinding lap that was from Josh Crabtree. Pole position, 2nd in the standings. A long way clear of Thies if he wants any hope of becoming world champion. He's got to hope that Thies messes up. It's the opposite to real life. It's the Red Bull chasing the Ferrari. But Josh has done enough. His 2nd pole position. And this one was definitely better than the first. So who are we waiting on? We're just waiting on Smithy, I think. Yep. Let's see the comments. Right then. Well, it's all sorted then. Near there, 0.409, the gap between Josh Crabtree and Thies. And then comes Frosty Life and Bram up there to make it Ferrari 2-4. Then comes Chaz F1, Sin Icon for Williams, P6. Then Crudaves, Bratty Terror. Alpine will be a bit disappointed with 8th and 11th. AlphaTauri with 9th and 12th. They were looking strong for both double top 10, but they'll have to go with what they've got for now. Seb managed to get his Haas into P10. Carbro P13, Arsenal P14, Warren P15, and then both Alfa Romeos, and then Swaggy Kiki, who crashed right at the start of qualifying. We'll round out the 18-man grid. And now, we're all waiting for the lights to come on. No formation lap. It's the Hungarian Grand Prix. Right, if you have any predictions, because Tier 2 is so unpredictable, say them now, because it's a dry race. So, let's see if we get a safety car. We haven't had a safety car that much in the past few races. Obviously, we did have one right at the end of last race, which caused a lot of exciting wheel-to-wheel action between the top 2 in the World Championship and the top 2 on today's grid. It's Josh versus Thies. It's the battle that is shaping up to be the battle for the title. And it's come down to 2 drivers, really. And let's see who leads into turn 1. Will it be Thies? Will it be Josh? Will it be even Chaz or Bram? We're about to find out. Or could it be Frosty Life? Here we go then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lights on at the Hungaroring. And the revs rise. And the Red Bull will lead them away now. Crudaves And Josh Crabtree, the Red Bulls, get off the line pretty well as Thies, and Bram has got a brilliant start, and Thies takes the lead as Bram is sandwiching the Red Bull, but it's Ferrari domination out in front, and Chaz F1 is sending it to the inside. Can he take P2 away from Josh, who goes off a little wide, but Chaz F1 is up into third. Thies leads the Grand Prix ahead of Chaz F1, who's still battling away with Josh. He's made up a good start past Bram, as Seb has got a blinder of a start up to fifth. Bram loses the rear, Chaz has to settle in, but here comes Josh. He's challenging Thies for the lead. At the end of Sector 1, Thies still leads out ahead of Josh, but goes off wide and will keep the lead for now. Chaz F1 right behind him in P3. Bram P4. Josh leads. I can't even speak. It's so chaotic. Look how close they all are. But Seb's P5, Sin Icon P7, Frankie 7th, Arsenal up to 8th, Creed of 8, who I don't for some reason know why I mentioned at the start, is down to P8. He's battling away with Arsenal and takes P8 away from him. Bratty Terror 10th, Smith the 11th, Frosty Live 12th, ahead of his teammate, just ahead of his teammate, as Warren's P14, Tigo 15th, Swaggy Kiki 16th, Erosia 17th, and Nathan's dropped down to last because he might have been spun. Wow, thrilling opening lap. And they've managed to all pretty much make it, besides Nathan and maybe Hirosia, who's battling away with Swaggy Kiki. But anyway, end of lap 1. Thies, I didn't even notice he had that good of a launch, but he is, and has taken the lead away from Josh Crabtree. But he's having a little look for the lead of the races. Thies has gone deep, and Josh F1 bangs wheels with Thies, and he takes the lead. They're still wheel to wheel. Thies is going to try and challenge. Josh blocks him off. Thies is going to try round the outside for the lead of the race. Only on lap 2, Josh takes the lead back. He put Thies in a position to make a mistake, and he has taken that opportunity, and he has taken the lead. Hello, Moore Island, Tier 1's newest race winner. Welcome, my friend, as Frankie and Sin Icon are battling wheel to wheel. As I don't know, Frankie over to off track. Warren and Tigo now battling away with each other. But Josh is leading out in front as Nathan and Swaggy are into the pits. And it's all happening there. Tigo's going to try and move around the outside as Warren is trying to keep within the racing limits. As Arsenal gets the penalty, and they're all just about making their way through what has been a very interesting and amazing opening few laps, and Tigo is trying to pass Warren where he tried to get past him at season 1, and it's all happening there as he's hit Warren, but hopefully he manages to calmly, collectively keep facing forward as Arsenal has made a mistake and has spun and is down to P16. So, Josh, really wasting no time. Look at that. He's got a 1.3 second advantage ahead of Thies. He may have not got the best start, but he pounced on Thies heading into this corner, this time 1 lap ago, and took the lead back as Bram, I didn't even realise, has got ahead of Chaz F1. So Ferrari can try something here. They can try both strategies, as Arsenal's caused the yellow again, to try and maybe get past Josh Crabtree. But something I'm just realising, Frosty Life has had an awful start. He started 3rd and now he's down to 10th and battling away with Bratty Terror. He has the inside, they bang wheels, and he's actually sent Bratty into a bit of a spin, but he manages to save it, but he's lost 2 positions in the process to Tigo and his own teammate who's gained from Frosty Life. As Bram F1 has lost out, has he spun? I can't even get on board with him, but has he made a mistake, Bram F1? Has Bramniat Lang made a mistake? I'm guessing so. He's got damage. So surely he came together with Chaz F1 as someone's gone off in the background. We got a yellow as that's Tigo and Warren. Tigo with no front wing as we got a VSC to calm everything down as Arsenal's given up. Don't know if that was on purpose. We'll see on board with Swaggy Kiki. Oh, he's just spun into the barrier. Right, virtual safety car then. Chaz F1 up to 3rd now. I have no idea if he did make contact with Bram or if Bram just lost it into the barrier. But Bram has damage and is now down to 9th. That thing I was saying about both Ferraris now trying different strategies to get ahead of Josh, that's not going to work now. Oh no. As what's happening here? Both of them, the leaders wheel to wheel. Josh needs to speed up a bit. I need to get Frosty back in. Oops, wrong person. Right, there we go. Thank you to all who's tuning in. It's been a very interesting and crazy opening first few laps for the Hungarian Grand Prix. The VSC has ended, and now we are back racing once again as Erosia and Bratty are wheel to wheel as Erosia's gone round the outside as Sin Icon has now dropped positions. He's also made a mistake at turn 4 as Frosty Life's drawn back. That's great to see, but all just ahead of the Alpine comes Sin Icon. We really need to start catching these mistakes more, because I have no idea if they're banging wheels with anyone or they're literally just making mistakes. We've got a yellow up in front. What's happening? Oh, it's behind. It's Warren. I should really look at the mini-map. Speaking of which, we'll turn all that on there. There we go. Right. Nathan into the pits. As Josh Crabtree still maintains his over 1 second lead. Ahead of Thieves, who's got a 2-second gap to Chaz F1, who's just under a second ahead of Seb, who's made a brilliant start. It's P10 to P4 now. Frankie up to 5th, Crudevez 6th, Smithy 7th. Mercedes still holding ground, as Frosty Life is still ahead of Carbro, and now he's back in his car, as Carbro just holding off on the charging Erosio, who goes round the outside of the Mercedes, and Erosio's picked up another place. He's really on the charge. Let's see how many positions gained. Yeah, look at that. Erosio, 8 positions gained, the most of anyone so far. 7 at Frankie. Yeah, Frankie too at 6 places gained. Seb deserves the credit, so does Frankie. But 8 places, Erosio really on the charge now, and he's got 1 Mercedes. Now he's going to try and get past the other one, who's lost out a heavy amount so far this opening 5 laps. The Sin Icon now gets ahead of Carbro. Right, 5 down, 30 to go. Let's check tyres. Right, so Frosty, I'm not sure if it was the hards that dropped him down, but the top 7 are on the mediums, and then Frosty, Bratty and Bram, after pitting, are on the hards, as is Nathan. And Swaggy and Tigo on the softs, everyone else on mediums. And it looks like, for now, things are calming down, but where is the next best battle, as Josh starts lap 6 now. Trying to keep that advantage to Thieves. Little elbows out. We're finally seeing a bit of a few mistakes from both drivers, mainly Thieves, heading into turn 1, but let's see if he can actually gain back on Josh. Josh using a lot of his ERS as that Tigo. And Swaggy, have they just come together? Have they made contact? Not quite sure. Tigo's now got a good gap ahead of him. I'm sure we'll get a clip in or two about that. Anyway, Frankie versus Crudevez now for P5. Just going to check the chat. Yeah, unfortunately, Armano usually, it's like bingo. He leaves at least once every race, which is really annoying for him. And we don't want to see it. But yeah, only penalty so far, Carbro. Yeah. Right, so look from this overhead shot, things all look good. Mike still seems not crackly, at least, so yeah. Crudevez, probably the closest car to another, as the top 5 are all pretty separated. Biggest gap being Chaz F1 to Thieves. It looks like these two are just running away with it. Right, so as Josh leads, as Nathan's not too far up the road from them, and he's probably going to be lapped soon as... Oh dear, I think he's got that ERS glitch. Yep. He's got it on. If he keeps it on through this corner, it's definitely... Yep. Unfortunate, but we got a yellow. I think that's Tigo again. Yep. How's Erosia? Oh, we got another yellow. Nope, it's just Tigo again. Right, Erosia. Making the charge, and he's now within half a second of Frosty Life, but Frosty Life isn't going to let him go past quietly. But on the hard compound tyre, how much of a fight can he really put up to the medium runner? He's within DRS of Smithy, who's about 2.6 behind us. Chaz F1 has been pushing his luck and pushing too hard, and has got a 3-second time penalty, as Seb 1.7 behind. He's keeping the gap. Frankie slowly gaining, but Crudevez is the closest by far, 7-21. Looks like, yeah. Josh and Thieves keeping around the same ERS as last time we checked in, and the gap has grown bigger. So pit stop should be coming in around lap 15, I'd say. It's probably a simple medium hard. As for the likes of Tigo and Swaggy, they're going to be hoping for a safety car. They cannot make softs last that much longer than the mediums. But yeah, with the softs, as soon as I say that, I was going to say the softs could catch Warren, but that corner is just catching both these drivers out. Every lap is a spin from one of them. And they're not even overtaking each other, they're just benefiting from spins. Erosia has been pushing now too hard, and that's a 3-second time penalty for the Alfa Romeo, who's right behind the Mercedes, who's right behind the Alpha Tauri. 3-car battle for P7 then. Frosty did not want to be down in P8 after qualifying 3rd. Sliding out of the corner was Frankie, just holding up. Crudevez is all over the back of the Alpine. So it seems stable all out in front. Chaz needs a 3-second gap to his closest driver behind him. For now, that won't cut it. Seb is looking at a podium at the moment. But now, with DRS activated 5 laps ago, it seems like Crudevez may spot his chance. And he's a good exit heading into the final couple corners. Frankie all over the place, not liking these tyres. He goes wide, get a better exit. Frankie's used up nearly all his ERS. His red light is flashing, and that's probably a warning. But using now his ERS and his DRS and the slipstream, he's gaining behind the Alpine, and he's going to pull to the outside now. And he can't quite get the move done. He's going to try the better line, the better exit. But Frankie defends well. Little loss of the rear, but he is keeping his Alpine ahead. And just like Fernando Alonso at Hungary, he's recreating that exact same battle. But this time, instead of a Mercedes, it's a Red Bull who's trying all different lines to try and get past the Alpine. And that's a brave and pretty bad line from Crudevez, who's probably got a warning from that. As Carbro and Bratti Terra now are battling. One Alpine, another Alpine is defending now from the Mercedes this time. So it is just like Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. But this time he's going to try the inside and backs off, which he should, because that was a kamikaze move if he kept his nose in there. But yeah, both Alpines defending a Red Bull, defending a Mercedes. Frankie, yep, like we thought, pushing his luck. 3-second time penalty. And they go again to start lap 10 soon. Frankie not really losing sight of Seb at the moment. Seb will probably be over 3 seconds behind Chaz soon. Chaz is in a bit of no man's land at the moment. Not quite got the pace to keep up with the leaders, but has enough pace to stay ahead and on track. Nearly recreated his spin. We got a yellow. I think that's just Nathan pulling out. Yep. 2-second gap now between the top two. Right, what about Crudevez? Not quite close enough once again. Let's look further back as the battle has not changed. Erosia still right behind Frosty Life. Anyway, Bratti and Carbro. Bratti has pulled ahead. So it looks like Bratti was the one overtaking the Mercedes. Anyway, back to this 3-car battle. They're all just keeping clean, but the Mercedes is a bit close to Smithy. But on those hard compound tyres, it's just not helping him. But because he's got DRS from Smithy, it's not allowing Erosia to progress any further. So it's a bit of a train forming. Erosia just trying to put some pressure on Frosty Life. Trying to see any different take. Smithy just doing well, holding them out up in front. Heading through the corner that a lot of them have been struggling with. And all 3 of them have made it pretty well. Just a little twitch from Erosia there. Right. Things, yeah, definitely start to calm down a bit. And I've got to admit, I love the Red Bull helmets. Crudevez is one, and Josh Crabtree, look at that. Brilliant. And also Chaz's as well. I think he's had that one all season, but I could be wrong. But anyway, enough about the helmets. Here comes Crudevez, and can't quite get close enough to Frankie again. Carbro, another penalty for him as Smithy and Crudevez. Nope, Smithy and Frosty Life. Frosty Life tried a little move. As Carbro's out, he's retired in the pit lane, so I don't think that should cause much. As Erosia's trying round the outside of the Mercedes, but can't quite get past Frosty Life. Yeah, Frosty Life tried a little move on Smithy. It did not work out. And Erosia will have to stay behind once again. No ERS for these two, as Smithy saved a bit more. Right, and then there were 16. Carbro's out. And Arsenal, I didn't even realise he was out. But yeah, Arsenal out as well. Lap 11. We're nearly a third of the way through this. 2 seconds, pretty much dead on between the top 2. Got a yellow. Is that Erosia? It is Erosia. He's lost his whole front wing. Oh, all that hard work has come undone. Oh, he's completely given up. in the barrier. But now probably, yeah. That's not what you're supposed to do, Erosia, but yeah. So that's probably 3 BPs. Crashed before, on purpose, before the halfway mark. Brought out a safety car. Yeah. And that's going to completely ruin Josh's gap to Thies. It helps his teammate, I guess. But at the same corner where Tigo had a big crash in Season 1, his teammate now has changed the course of this race. Pit stops galore happening now. Sin Icon and Smithy into the pits now for the hard compound tyre. Heading out is Bram. Can he get ahead of them? He can get ahead of at least one of them. But Smithy is ahead of the Ferrari. They'll pass the safety car. And surely... oh, what's happened here with Chaz F1? Little mistake there, I'm not sure, but yeah, surely the leaders will take it upon themselves to pit. It's pretty much time for their stops anyway, so it's a free stop, really. Nathan will allow... I don't know if this will allow Nathan to unlap himself. Actually, if he stays out, then yeah. If the top guys pit, of course. Chaz just behind it. Anyway, let's see. Josh is in, and so is Thies. It was a no-brainer. They're in the pit lane. Not doing a David Coulthard, as Chaz just about. Looks like his tyres are really done. And he was using them and was really trying to push, but anyway, we'll see. They're all coming in like we thought, as Nathan... Wait. Oh, Nathan. I don't think you're going to be able to unlap yourself now, buddy. As the Aston Martin of Chaz has to slow down to avoid one of the cars. Josh, as Frosty Life has stayed out. Frosty Life, who has not disconnected, has decided to stay out. Josh comes out in second, Thies in third. They're all remaining in their order. Smithy has... No, I thought Smithy got ahead of Frankie there. Where's Smithy? Oh, there's Smithy. Oh, he comes now into the first corner. P8 ahead of Bram. Yeah. So they are as they were, but Frosty Life on those hard compound tyres, the only one to start on hards, leads the Grand Prix because he has not made his pit stop yet. Very interesting. Bram down in 9th. He's got a lot of work to do. Everyone bar Bratty and Nathan are on the mediums. Warren's a long way back, as is Tigo and Swaggy Kiki. And Nathan, unfortunately, by staying out, will have to stay a lap behind. Let's check the chat. Oh, we got a legend. We got Niels watching the stream. Shout out to Niels. I need to find out helpful tools for me. Yeah, I'm checking the chat, Nick. Anyway, yeah, Rosia was complaining about Carbro, I'm guessing, because he was no. Wait, no. Yeah, he was complaining about Frosty Life. Yeah. So, I'm guessing they came together, so Frosty Life might be investigated for an incident. We'll check penalties, we know the tyres. 3 seconds for Chaz, Frankie and Tigo. We can check warnings, I guess, for the top guys. Why does that always happen? Right, there we go. Nothing for Frosty Life. Good so far. 1 warning for Josh Crabtree. I'm not sure if that was for contact with Thies. I don't think it was. It was lap 2. Thies? Nope. Been keeping clean. Exceeding track limits. So yeah, Josh does have 1 warning. Thies has none. Will. Nathan is lapped. He's P15, dead last, and he's in the middle of a bunch of cars. He definitely is lapped. Just waiting on, I guess, Swaggy Kiki to close up to the back of the pack. The safety car might come in next lap. But it might come in this lap. And yeah, all the hard runners have got a bit of a task to do. 21 laps on those white tyres. Frosty Life is definitely going to have to pit. Hopefully, he'll hope for another safety car. But he's in the fight now. All of these on the same compound tyre. The hards do have a second life in them. Frosties are more worn to the ground. Yeah, is the safety car coming in this lap? It is. Swaggy has caught up to the back of the pack. And Frosty Life will lead them away then. Let's see if this strategy gamble pays off. Of course, he wasn't really going to pit anyway because he wants to take those hards further in. The safety cars are either going to help him or not, as he's got a bit of a gap to Josh Crabtree, and he slows down right towards the rear wing of him because he just doesn't want to make sure he's more than 10 car lengths. But let's see, when will Frosty Life go? He's not applied the power yet, but out of the final corner, he's going to wait right up until the line, and Chaz F1 is overtaking both of them, and he's going to have to give those places back as Frosty Life has gone, and Chaz F1 does have to give the places back to the top two in the championship. And heading further back, Thies is now going to seize his opportunity. He's going to make the move on Josh Crabtree, and he's going to try and take second place in this race as they're wheel to wheel still. Heading into turn 2, Chaz F1 arriving on the scene. Josh is that's the inside. Chaz looks to the inside of Thies, and there might have been a bit of contact as we're looking forward, but they've still all made it. Out in front is Frosty Life, as they were from Josh, from Thies, from Chaz. Brilliant racing as there in the back is the Ferrari of Bram, who's spun and lost a bunch of positions. I'll be surprised if there's no damage on that Ferrari, but he's now down in P13 as they were then. Thies has made a mistake, and Chaz F1 is going to try and send it down the inside of the Ferrari as they make a bit of contact, as Chaz does save his car from spinning. As oh, what's happening here? Loads of carnage, wheel to wheel action between Tigo up to P8. Can't you believe it? Ahead of Bratty Terror, they're battling away. Bratty, I think, may have damage, but I'm not too sure. He's dropping positions, and he's now down into P9. Tigo just keeps ahead. Warren now has spun down to P14. Let's see if Bram has damage. That is incredible that he spun, hit the wall, and does not have damage. Anyway, looking further front, Frosty Life will try and hold off against Josh Crabtree. He's had a little look. Josh kept his foot in there, and it was brilliant racing between all three of them, really. Chaz might be a bit annoyed, but Sin Icon, Bratty Terror now maybe dropping down. Chaz is under pressure from Frankie, who sends it to the inside of the Aston Martin as Josh now takes the lead from Frosty Life, as Chaz is just ahead of Frankie. He's holding him off. He's pushing him right to the inside. Frankie looks to the inside but can't quite find a gap. Kudave's looking on the back as arriving on the scene is now Seb as well, who's lost a bit of ground. But they are as they were, still all in the hunt. But Josh is now ahead of Frosty Life and has taken the lead back from the Mercedes. Thies is going to try and get past him as soon as possible to not let that Red Bull get away. But we are seeing 5 different constructors in the top 5. And it's the top 3 in real life as well. Red Bull, Mercedes and Ferrari. As the other Alpine of Bratty Terror has dropped all the way down after getting a really impressive debut of P2 in Austria. It hasn't been that good since, but let's hope he can turn it around. As Thies dives it down the inside of Frosty Life. Seems like that was a good move, and it was good enough to put him into P2, and the gap is pretty much the same since the safety car. And if this is like to the end, then it seems like Josh just has to keep it on the road, not get a penalty, unlike what Warren has done. And he will get his first win. He has still not got a race victory. Second in the standings, consistent top 5s and podiums. Could this be the day? I don't want to jinx it, and I really hope he does well, but can Josh Crabtree finally win a Grand Prix in Tier 2? Well, we're halfway through and it's looking good. Right, Chaz, a second behind Frosty Life, who's staying on the back of Thies. If they all have to pit again, let's say at the end for softs, because there's a safety car. This is for, but that's a mistake from Frosty Life. I'm loving the racing though, even if there's a few touches, a few bargy, but it's still good as Bram's got a penalty now. Not the best afternoon for the championship leader's teammate. This is not even in the points yet, and even if he does get past Sin, he's going to have to try and get a 3-second gap, as that Smithy round, unfortunately, now dropping down to 13th. His teammate unlaps himself from him. 2-second gap then, Josh is on it. And let's look at the chats real quick. Right, there we go, right. Let's see, can Chaz F1 as Smithy still, as Josh, yep, fastest lap for Josh Crabtree. Anyway, can Chaz F1 get close enough to... Oh, one of the Smithies stopped. He's spun. I was going to say, can Chaz get close enough third time to Frosty Life? Not quite, as Smithy will head into the pits, I'm guessing, or not. Not sure yet. But Chaz has got to watch himself because Frankie is right on the back of him, and Krudervase and Seb. It's a massive battle. There's a little twitch from Frankie there. So yeah, Frosty's going to hold up a bit of a train now as the top two battle their way. Thies is going to need to have some mega pace to get it back under a second, let alone challenge Josh. So the fight is on. Tigo's holding ground in P8. He hasn't given up yet, which is great, and he's up into the points, unlike his teammate. Swaggy Kiki, yeah, both of them. Goes without saying, they've spun loads of times at this corner, but now they find themselves 8th and 9th. As Swaggy Kiki going to try a little move on Tigo, not quite close enough just yet. Anyway, looking further back, Chaz is outside of a second from Frosty Life. Krudervase is the closest one at the moment to the back of Frankie. Frankie's used all his ERS and pretty much Krudervase as well. As we've got a yellow, I'm guessing that's still Smithy. Oh no, it's Nathan, never mind. Anyway, can't quite get close enough, can Krudervase to the Alpine of Frankie. But it's a very close battle between them all. Just double checking, Bram doesn't have damage. But he's going to really have to try and push to catch Sin Icon, Swaggy and Tigo and all them. Right, lap 19 of 35 then. We've had one safety car caused by Erosia crashing and one VSC right at the start. As all 5 constructors fly by there. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Frosty Life because he's going to have to pit soon. And he is going to be hoping another safety car comes his way because if he pits now, he's going to be right down in P12. So he's going to really have to hope that someone makes a mistake. There is a big battle behind him. He's not exactly leading the train, Chaz is, but Frankie is the one making the most mistakes because he's the one with the most pressure behind. Krudervase, little switch on Frankie, and he's messed up, and he's taken Josh with him. He's taken Krudervase with him, should I say? And there's the mistake that Frosty Life was hoping for, as Frankie has lost the rear, and he's collected Krudervase with him. As down the inside goes Seb on Krudervase, he lets him through. There's a little twitch on the rear, but has that given the Red Bull damage now? I think he's alright, but we don't know what we can see. Oh no, yep, there's definitely damage on the right-hand side of that front wing to Krudervase. More bad luck for the Red Bull as Frankie has destroyed his race and destroyed Alpine's chances of any good points in this race. No front wing for the Alpine now, and nearly just avoiding the barriers as Seb now gets a penalty. He's going to have to make it back to the pits, and hopefully he doesn't give up. But now Swaggy Kiki now has made a mistake. And Tigo Bite is now up to P6 as Nathan gets a penalty. It's all happening. Bram up to 9th. Bratty Terror now ahead of Swaggy Kiki after that spin. All gone wrong for Frankie. Taking Krudervase with him, he'll have to pit. And now he's under pressure from Sin Icon who goes around the outside. He might have hit the Krudervase a bit there. And he's hit Bram! A chain reaction there. Oh dear me. Bram and Krudervase and Sin. I'm not sure if Sin hit Krudervase off and he returned and hit Bram. It's all gone messy as Frankie's out. He's given up, and is that a safety car again? As Frosty Life and Chaz, Frosty's in. No, it's an actual legitimate move, right? Chaz F1 goes into P3 then on track ahead of Frosty Life as Warren has spun. We've got yellows everywhere, so no safety car for Frankie crashing. Krudervase in, Bram stays out on. Miraculously, no damaged front wing. So that's P10 for the Ferrari. Krudervase unfortunately now down in P11. Will stay P11 as the 3 behind him are miles behind. There's Warren, about to be lapped by the leaders. Thies is closing the gap a little bit. He's gained about half a second since the last time I checked. But anyway, Chaz needs to get the 3-second gap to at least Frosty Life, but mainly Seb is his competition as Frosty will still have to pit. As oh Oh, Chaz F1 has made a mistake. He's into the wall. As soon as I say he needs a 3-second gap, he has made a mistake. That corner catching so many out. All that hard work gone and done. And now Tigo is up to 5th. Chaz is down to 7th. I don't know if we saw another person make a mistake. It might have been Bram getting out the way. What is... No, it was Thies. Yeah, it was definitely Thies. I think Thies made a mistake as well. What is happening? Frosty's in. Right, Frosty's in. Nathan's made a mistake. What is happening here? Warren's trying to unlap himself from Thies, I think. He is. Look at that. Warren has unlapped himself from the championship leader. I was more focused on Chaz making a mistake, but that Ferrari was going slowly. And Thies has lost a heap of time. He's lost 2.5 seconds. Josh just keeping the gap out in front. Oh, Nathan. Could that be a safety car? It is a safety car. So once again, Thies makes a mistake, but it doesn't even matter because, yeah, the gap's reduced. Seb P3. Tigo P4. Sin Icon 5th. Chaz 6th. Bratty Terror back into it in 7th. Because of Nathan crashing, I have no idea if it was on purpose or not, but second safety car, 14 laps to go. Warren unlapped himself from Thies. Right, let's see what Josh does. He's into the pits. This might change the race. Never mind, it's not going to change the race. Thies is in as well. And they might actually get out ahead of these lot, because they have to keep to a delta. Warren 5 seconds for speeding. Let's see what they put on. Soft compound tyre, 12 laps to go. It's going to be a bit of a hard take if that's the only safety car left in this race, but everyone's in. It's just a no-brainer at this point. Frosty Life pitted, and then the safety car came out, which is unfortunate. But Sin Icon has stayed out. One of them is still taking the gamble, but he still even hasn't taken the lead. But it's a gamble. This helps Josh. He's splitting the top 2 as Tigo comes out just in front. Frosty Life has pitted for the mediums. He pitted before the safety car, and he's P4. Top 4 all with no penalties. Seb with 1, Tigo with 1, Chaz with 1, and then comes Swaggy and Bratty and Bram and Crude of A's, who's back into this really. Yeah, mix of tyres. We'll check the chat. Right then. Warren is lapped. Oh god, Warren's hit Sin! What is that? How on earth have we catch that? As soon as I say it, Warren has just hit Sin from P2 and has dropped him down to P6 now. Oh, Sin's not going to be happy about that. Warren has hit Sin from P2, hit him down to P5, and if Tigo has now hit the back of Sin, I think. No, Sin's just hit the back of Seb. Guys, come on. Warren, what have you started? I don't think Sin can even get back into P2. Will he pit? No, he's going. Oh, that's very disappointing. A gamble that was to prove to stay out and hopefully see how far he can stay up in front. Warren, a back marker, has hit him because he's not ghosted. And has hit Sin. I don't think he's got a penalty for it. Yeah, he has a 3 second for corner cut and 5 sec for the speed. So that's definitely going to be another penalty. And then there were 13. We've lost Arsenal, Carborough, Rosie, Frankie and Nathan. Smithy is really the only one besides Kudaves who needs to catch up now. All mess, all carnage, all chaos. Warren now splits the top 2. It was Sin Icon on the lead lap, but now it is Warren who splits them. 1 lap behind. What's Warren got to say for himself? Okay. That's it. That's all he said. Well, this is going to be a very interesting restart, Josh. We'll get the hurry up to go soon. It will come in this lap, I'm sure. But yeah, Thies has to lap Warren, but make sure he doesn't overtake him before the safety car line, otherwise he'll have to give it back. Lead lap or 1 lap behind, or 7 laps behind, it doesn't matter. Just waiting on Smith again, who is still on the lead lap. Only Warren's lapped. Yeah. So, I don't know, will Warren try something? We've got to keep an eye on this. Safety car is coming in this lap then, I'm guessing. Can Smithy catch up in time? Yeah, as I thought. Right. It's been an action-packed race. It's been a classic Tier 2 race full of incident and overtakes and battles. And we're not done yet. We've got 10 laps to go on soft compound tyres that should do about that distance. But we will see. I'm going to switch it back to tyres. And when will Josh Crabtree go? Oh, God. He goes now. And Warren gets clean out the way for Thies. And he overtakes him after the line. That was perfectly timed for the Ferrari, who now has to try everything to put Josh under a bit of pressure. Frosty Life will now lap Warren and Seb and Tigo and Sin Icon and Chaz F1 with a lot of work to do. And Swaggy Kiki and Bratty and Bram, and they're all making it through turn 1 as Crew de Vase, a Red Bull versus the Ferrari and a Ferrari versus the Red Bull. Let's see what happens here on out. 10 laps to go then. Frosty on the mediums. Let's see if he can hold off Seb, because he can let Seb and Tigo by. They have a penalty. Frosty does not. Right, what about Chaz F1, because Sin Icon's just got a penalty or another penalty. Chaz F1 on those soft compound tyres. Frosty Life has spun on the medium compound tyres. There's no podium for him now. As looking further front, the Red Bull tries to move on. Bram can't quite make it work as Chaz F1 has lost out to Sin Icon. And down the inside, Swaggy Kiki's making a move. But brilliantly, Chaz F1 has... Oh, no. I was going to say brilliantly round the outside, but there's a bit of wheel banging. But still, he makes the move. And there's a lot of calamity going as the Alpine runs into the back of the Williams, and Swaggy Kiki has to take avoiding action of Sin Icon, who's caused enough trouble tonight. And looks like Bratty Terror has fallen out of the points. Smithy 10th, battling away with the Alpine. As round the outside does go the soft compound runner. As getting out of the way is Swaggy Kiki for Bram. As it looks, it's all calm out in front, but the midfield battle is crazy. As Crew de Vase is now got Swaggy Kiki in front of him instead of Bram, who's made himself put himself in a P7. Sin Icon really holding them back on the hard combat, just about avoiding them. But yeah, they all make it through. Bram goes off the track. Can't quite salvage a move. Medium runners, as there we go. Swaggy Kiki has hit the back of Bram and has sent him into a spin. And Bram, oh, he's put it in reverse. And it gets bad to worse for the Ferrari driver. P12 now. Frosty Life after that spin. P11. He's on the back of Smithy already, who's just watching Bratty on the back of Crew de Vase. I'm losing my voice. Swaggy Kiki now. Medium runner versus the hard compound runner. But look at the gap the top 5 have. We'll switch it to penalties. You can see in the top right corner the tyre, so that's fine. Swaggy Kiki penalty, Bratty penalty. There's going to be a lot to investigate after, I'm sure of it. But yeah, Josh doing his job. 2-second gap now to Thies. Seb has 6 seconds of penalties. Could we be seeing? Because I've completely lost track if he even has been involved in an incident. Could we be seeing Tigo Vita get a podium? Seb has let him through! Seb has let Tigo through! Has Seb just gifted Tigo a podium? Does Seb know he can't get it? Tigo Vita is running in P3. We're going to have to look back to that because Smithy and Frosty Life are banging wheels for the last points playing position. Frosty into P10, looking further front. They're all keeping their noses clean. No one running into the back of anyone this time around. Swaggy's going to try the switchback on Sin Icon. He has to brake a little bit and he's going to try and go wheel to wheel. He's going to try and go round the outside of Swaggy Kiki. Here he comes. Has he made the move? Unbelievable! He's made the move ahead of Sin Icon. What a brilliant move round the outside for the Haas driver. He's up in a P6. That was brilliant. As down the inside tries the Red Bull. Can't quite get the move done. What a move from Swaggy Kiki up in a P6 where he's finished so many times. And now we got a yellow. Thies, the championship leader, has made a mistake. Thies, it's all happening. Tigo Vita's up into P2. Chaz F1 is now ahead of Thies as they're banging wheels, as Warren's made a mistake. Thies, he's finally cracked. He's made a big and costly error. But You never know. At the moment, actually, he's still P2 because he's within 3 seconds of Tigo. It's all happening! Chaz F1 has hit these and he's hit him! Oh no! It's all happening! Chaz F1 has hit these! Has that given the Ferrari damage? It has given him damage! Chaz F1 has lost the rear and he's got a gaggle of cars behind him who's going to try and nick P6 from him. It's all happening! The Hungarian Grand Prix does not disappoint. We've got 7 laps to go. Here comes Grudemaze on Sin Icon down the inside. The soft compound runner, Sin Icon goes wide and he's going to just about stay ahead of Frosty Life, who wisely backs off. Chaz F1 made a mistake. He collected these, who still might get a podium, but who knows. Yeah, he'll definitely get a podium at the moment. But Tigo Biter is P2. Josh can afford to do what Max did, actually. He can spin. Go on then, Josh, if you're listening. Oh, Frosty Life and Sin Icon, we can't make jokes at the moment because the serious stuff is still happening between Sin Icon and Frosty has got ahead of Sin Icon. Right, Josh, this corner, spin, do what Max did, and still go on to win. It'll be great. Ah, whatever. Right, Sin Icon's got a penalty. Tigo just keeping ahead of Seb. It's all happening. Oh, my voice went so high there. Right, I don't really want to turn my mic off right now, but I'll do it for now. Right, it's down to 12. Right, I'm going to turn my mic on and off. Apparently it's crackling. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing. Right, we're back. Tigo Biter running in P2 currently, where he was and finished in the Season 1 Hungarian Grand Prix before his penalties were applied. He is running in P2 at the moment, and someone remind me, please, well, if you can, I don't know, has Tigo been involved in any incidents? Yeah, okay. You tell me it's fine as soon as I turn my mic off, thanks. Anyway, I think we have to focus. This is the biggest moment of the race. Can Tigo get a podium? Seb is keeping him on his toes. Oh, there's a penalty for Seb. 9 seconds now, and that's probably confirmed Thies for a podium. But with that damaged front wing, he's got a lot of work to do to hold off Swaggy and Chaz. And Cruder Vase, who's right on the back of the Aston Martin. He's looking all over the shop. Can he send it? No, he can't quite, and he's going to have to back off for now. What a battle. What a race so far. And we still got 5 laps to go. Josh, it looks inevitable now that he will win this Grand Prix, and I really hope he does, to get this title back in motion. As look at that, Thies holding off Swaggy Kiki. Swaggy Kiki's having none of it. He's going to try and have a little move around the outside, but Thies just has enough willpower. Seb has made a mistake, and that's going to confirm Thies up in a P3. Oh, Seb, all that hard work. Oh dear, the other Haas, both Haasers in the walls, getting involved in incidents. Oh, it's disaster in the span of 10 seconds for Haas. Seb spins. Swaggy gets caught up. I do not know who that was with. Maybe it was Chaz. Maybe it was Thies. If someone can let me know. But once again, incident after incident. And now here's a battle that we're all going to fear. Thies versus Chaz. They've had a few coming together. Here and there this season. They haven't been on the best of terms. But let's hope for a good battle. Chaz with that penalty is losing 2 spots at the moment to these two. He'll be down in P6 because Seb with those 9 seconds has cleared any possibility of any big changes. But Chaz not close enough. In fact, Cruder Vase is close enough. 4 constructors battling it out, and none of them can make the move as Chaz is right behind. The Ferrari's Ram has got past Sin Icon. Fair and square, and it looks like he's going to pick up about 4 points. He might get 8. Whoa. Frosty Life versus Cruder Vase now. Wheel to wheel. Oh, they make on there into the wall. Massive crash for Frosty Life and Cruder Vase. A massive crash, and that could prove another safety car. Unbelievable. Chaz has got another penalty, and this could bring these right back into the race win, because I'll tell you what, Josh Crabtree has got a penalty. You could not write it. You could not describe it. You could not think it. What is happening? A massive, massive crash with Crew de Vase and Frosty Life. No front wing for the Red Bull has happened at turn 3. Crew de Vase, the bad luck continues. And then there were 12. Oh my lord. How does that keep happening? Drive through for Bratty. How does that keep happening? How is the... I don't want to say it, but how is he so lucky? He makes that big of a mistake. And yet, he's still going to be on the back. And he's the only driver... Oh my lord. Forget the championship. Forget this race. Tigo Vita is leading it. Oh my god. Oh my god. These... No. You can't be serious. No way. No. Ah, it's going to be a... Smithy's third on those... That's going to be a bigger gap than 3 seconds, don't you think? Started 16th. And now, with 3 laps to go, leads the Hungarian Grand Prix. Swaggy up 13 spots. Warren's going to be up 3 after this. Oh, Bratty's out. Yep, he's given up because of that drive-through, which is fair. He was going to finish last anyway because he'd have to serve it after. I've lost all composure. Right, and then there were 11. Oh my god. Tigo leads. You can see the time in the top right. I need to put it to penalties. Tigo leads on the same amount of penalties as Josh, on the same amount of penalties as Smithy. Chaz with 6, Swaggy with 8. These has to make his way past these two on soft compound tyres. Smithy on hards, Josh on softs. It's going to be a battle for the win. Josh has not been involved in any instance besides maybe, you know, the wheel banging with these to start off with. We are going to have about 2 laps of running, I think. A 2-lap shootout. It is going to be crazy. I mean, this race has been crazy. Maybe even race of the season. I have no idea. But it is definitely up there. Yep. We start lap 33 and we are genuinely going to have 2 laps because the game obviously doesn't allow 1-lap shootouts. So it's the minimum we can get. Bram will be P9. Sin Icon P10. Warren P11. He's in the mix of it all as well. Who's he between? He's between... Who is he between? He's between... I don't know. Oh my god, he's between These and Swaggy Kiki. These is going to have to do it again. He's going to have to time it right. He's going to have to get past Warren after the line. And that's going to lose him even more time. It might not be the comfortable, lucky win. These out here trying to equal the win record of 7 wins. He's on 6, and he heads into Hungary hoping that he could get that 7th, extend his championship lead. We have no idea how this is going to end. But at the moment, can you believe it? Tigo Vita, P1. Alfa Romeo have always taken big gambles here. Lucas tried it last season, didn't work out. He was his teammate before he got demoted to a reserve after not making that many races. But his teammate is now leading the Grand Prix. The memes, all the crashes. Can Tigo finally put that to rest? Can he become a race winner in this league after getting the most amount of IPs, the most amount of BPs? He's been so close and on the verge to having such a bad career, but this is it. And I don't want to pile the pressure if he's listening, but this is it, Tigo. If there's one moment, it's now. So Tigo will lead Josh from Smithy, from Chaz from Swaggy Kiki, from These who has to try and get past Warren on the lead lap. Let's hope Tigo can do a clean restart. But there we go. 10 on the lead lap, 1 lapped. And we're going to start lap 34. Here we go then. Tigo has 1 corner to navigate before he can plant it and go pedal to the metal. He goes wide. Josh is on the inside. And he's gone now. T2S5 leads the Grand Prix with 2 laps remaining. We've got a Williams going off there. Chaz F1 challenging Smithy for P3. And has Thies got past Warren? Yes, he has indeed. As Chaz is challenging Smithy down into turn 1. And he gets ahead of the hard compound runner. It was pretty easy. Smithy might go off track. He might lose another place to Swaggy Kiki. Thies watching this all unfold. We have to look further front though. Josh versus Tigo for the win as Josh lags and ghosts a bit in him. But Chaz is now up to 3rd. He needs as many seconds as he can. He's got 6 seconds to Swaggy's 8, who might lose out a lot. But now Thies on the back of Swaggy. Smithy's got another penalty, so that could confirm Thies for a podium. Chaz right behind us. Warren spun. Chaz is right over the back of Josh. If they make contact, and Swaggy Kiki's hit the back of Chaz, I was going to say, if they make contact, Tigo could look in the lead. And he's still, no! Josh, he's at the back of Tigo, and Chaz F1 has taken the lead. Chaz F1 on lap 34, Tigo just makes it through. He's gone off, but he's surviving. Swaggy Kiki hits the back of Josh, who goes wide as Thies is now down the inside of Smithy. This is crazy, crazy stuff. Josh is ahead of Tigo. He hits Tigo off as Thies is trying to challenge Smithy. Tigo's now lost ground. Chaz F1 leads. Remember, he's on 3 seconds. He needs that gap. He starts the final lap in the lead. Can you believe it? Josh is looking to win this race then. He hit Tigo off, but I'm not sure how the race result will look. Chaz needs a 3-second gap to Thies. T2S5 now gets past Smithy. Smithy goes off for the 2nd lap in a row. Seb down in 8th. Bram and Sin Icon battling away for the final points playing position. And it looks like Sin Icon round the outside has taken that back. But Bram is, yeah, that's probably Bram's fault, has hit Sin Icon. Looking further front. We got to change it to leader. Thies is 2.6. Oh, wait, yeah, Thies. Wait, Thies! Oh, my God! Thies has got a penalty! And just, oh, Chaz! What is happening? Has Josh just hit Chaz? Has Chaz just made a mistake? Has Chaz just crumbled under the pressure? All that hard work gone undone. Thies gets a penalty. Tigo's holding him up. Swaggy Kiki 2nd. T2S5 does not have a penalty. T2S5 is the 2 Red Bulls. So here we go then, 3.1 between the 2 Red Bulls. They're fighting for the win. Neither of them have ever won a Grand Prix in Tier 2. And T2S5 is being held up. Chaz has made him a yellow. And look at that. T2S5 has lost too much time. And that means Josh Crabtree out of the final corner. Chaos and carnage. The Red Bull wins. Josh Crabtree, I've got to stop. There's a lump in my throat. But for the first time ever, Josh Crabtree wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it is a Red Bull 1-2. Tigo is on the podium. Can you believe it? What a race. Don't know if the standings and the result will stay that way. It is a Red Bull 1-2 at Hungary. T2S5 got held up too much to try and challenge for the win. He was nearly within 3 seconds. Josh Crabtree has just won the Hungarian Grand Prix and his first Grand Prix in Tier 2. Thies got a penalty on the last lap. Oh, wow. What a race. T2S5, a podium. May not have been the win, but that is still his first podium. Don't know if he'll say, but congratulations. Red Bull take home maximum points. I don't know who got the fastest lap, but if it stays like that, Red Bull, well done. Neither of them have ever had a win, and now they emerge 1-2. Don't know if he'll stay, of course. I have no idea. Oh, it is maximum points. Josh Crabtree got the fastest lap. Wow. What a race. Chaz, unfortunately, I think he spun by himself. He's not blaming anyone. So that's P10 for him. Bram is unlucky, P9. Seb, P8 from P10. Sin Icon, after all that, only loses a place when we started. Smithy, P9. Swaggy Kiki. Brilliant drive from him to be 5th from 18th. Don't know if he'll get a few pens because he was involved in a few things. Thies is 4th. Now, Tigo might... I don't know if he'll get a pen. Who knows? But Tigo is third, Krudove is second, Josh first. 26 for Josh, 12 for Thies. 14 points gained at the moment. Wow. Okay, Will's gonna send the announcement. Sort my mic. I don't know if my mic's got a problem, but I've lost my voice. Nice. Why does Josh need to get a pen? No, never mind, it's just a joke. Right, well that has been the Tier 2 Season 5 Hungarian Grand Prix. I guess no interviews. Oh, wait, hang on. Right, yeah, the order may completely change. I have no idea what's happened. So much happened in that race. That might genuinely be the race of the season. But anyway, as my voice does return, that has been the Tier 2 Season 5 Hungarian Grand Prix. We were supposed to take a 2-week break after this for Belgium, but the owners last week thought, nope, having too much fun. We're going to just make it consecutive. So join us in 7 days' time for the Belgian Grand Prix, and by then we'll have cleared up what the race result for today has been. Who's this lad? Get him out. Right. In a bit. And yeah, we'll see you for Belgium.